So how about this Fox News alert this morning? There's a little bit more bad news for the so-called economic recovery in the United States. Here's the look. Number just came out a little while ago, 348,000 filing unemployment claims last week. That's the highest in about a month. Also, new numbers showing that the GDP came out like this, 3.2% for fourth quarter. So let's see what all this means. Charles Payne with the Fox Business Network. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning.
Good to see you this morning. So let's start with the jobs number. How's that looking?
Listen, it's not a great number. It fluctuates a lot. A whole lot of people coming off long-term unemployment. We're going to see a whole lot of noise in this number. Maybe an additional million-plus people will drop out of the labor force. Some may do other things. We're not going to make any headway, I don't see, Martha, with respect to employment outside of the small gains that we've had so far in the last few years. So this is just, unfortunately, where we're going to be, north of 300,000 every single week on initial jobless claims benefits.
It's a new normal, right?
Yeah.
But one question, some of the studies show that when the unemployment runs out, people get jobs. They find work.
It's absolutely true. Study after study after study has said that. What you have a lot that's gone on in America over the last several years is a fairness, humanitarian type of argument that's masked as an economic argument. Now, you can say, hey, you think it's the right thing to do, although on the other side of the coin is really letting someone's skills erode for 3 or 4 years. You're actually helping them. Ultimately, you're not helping them. So it sounds mean-spirited, particularly if you want it to sound mean-spirited, but the exact opposite has been proven to be right.
Yeah, that's a great point. Let's take a look at the GDP, 3.2%. How do you like that number?
You know what? The number itself is not exciting, but when you dig into the numbers, this is when I get really excited, because what we saw in the fourth quarter, government spending was down 12.6%. Government spending was down in the third quarter. Our economy has gotten so much traction since the government shutdown, which the mass media has said is an evil, awful thing, and it hurt us. Well, during that period, more jobs were created. During that period, the stock market was up, and we continue to see, as government gets out of the way, the private sector comes in. Another small thing that was pretty interesting there, consumers spent a lot more. Now, their savings went down. It was the best consumption by consumers in well over like 3 years. The negative would be housing. The residential stuff wasn't really good. Some people blame the weather. I will say, on the other end of that, Martha, we had earnings from Ryland and Pulte Homes, two big housing builders.
Yep.
Both were great numbers, and they both have positive things to say.
Good. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting internals in those numbers. Thank you, Charles. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Hammered already, right?
Yep.
Pack show.